Hi everyone, my name is Genesis and I garden in a zone 6B here in southeastern Massachusetts, and in today's video I wanted to talk about some of the seeds that I have placed in order and received for my spring and summer garden of 2025. Happy New Year everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Please like and subscribe this video to see more content about my garden and my everyday. But I wanted to really touch up on all these seeds that I ordered because I ordered a bunch. I am guilty of ordering a little bit more than I needed to, but that's always the case in the garden. There's always new varieties coming out that I want to get my hands on, and more color and more exciting plants that I want to add into the garden. And I ordered from 5 different seed companies. One of them is Renee's Garden, Botanical Interest, Baker Creek, MIgardener, and Johnny Seeds. Those are usually my go-to places to order seeds from. I really enjoy their seeds and their stock. I do order from a couple of more places, and I'm sure that I'll be placing another order sometime soon. But yeah, let's get started and introduce you to some of the seed varieties that I'm growing in my garden this year. All right, everyone. So the first company that I ordered seeds from, which is one of my favorites, is Renee's Garden. I really love their packaging. They have awesome illustration on their packaging. They have awesome varieties. And I like to visit Gardener Supply up in Vermont annually when I'm out there and pick out a couple of seeds from their awesome collection that they have in the garden center. So the first couple of seeds that I got from them were zinnias, and the first one is called Raspberry Sorbet, and I am guilty of really enjoying a raspberry double zinnia. I love raspberry color in the garden. I love purple. I use a lot of yellow in my garden, so I like to contrast it with a lot of purples. And so I'm really looking forward to this double zinnia and adding it to the garden. It's 3.5 feet tall, and I scatter that all around the garden. And then the next zinnia that I got is called Summer Pinwheels, which is another double zinnia that has white tips, kind of that raspberry themed color, and it has a cherry center, and I can't wait to mix that with the raspberry sorbet and put that all around. I like to also add zinnias underneath my orchard that I have, my mini orchard. So I have a bunch of fruit trees, and in the bottom of the trees I kind of like to plot a couple of zinnias to scatter them and give more interest to the trees. The next seed that I bought was Sweet William, and this one is called Lace Mantle. Again, as you can tell, I love raspberry, so this one is a raspberry colored and pink kind of romantic lace mantle, as they call it, Sweet William. And this is going to be my first time growing Sweet William. Well, not really. When I first was like a novice gardener, I bought some like English cottage mix of seeds. It was mixed seeds, and one of the seeds that I really enjoyed from that mix were some Sweet Williams, but unfortunately my chickens got into the garden where the Sweet Williams were, and they would come up every year, and they were not in a great position, and the chickens destroyed it. So I'm looking forward to really sowing some Sweet William again and having that in my garden. And I saw that Crane from Cranery Gardens also grows Sweet William, and they look absolutely beautiful. The next variety of seeds that I bought was Verbena Vanity. I am used to, it's a type of Verbena bonariensis, and this one is supposed to be a little bit more compact, and so I'm looking forward to adding that into some containers that I have. Again, contrasting that yellow that I like to put into my containers. And I really love verbena. It's so beautiful. I know it can be kind of a bully in some gardens, but up here in the Northeast, I don't really see that too much. It does grow really well here, but not to the point where it's taking over. And I love how airy verbena is in the garden. So I'm really looking forward to a more compact plant, because the last plant that I have, the regular Bonariensis, it kind of got really tall and it was not taking over, but it was definitely a centerpiece. So I want something a little bit more compact. The next variety of seed that I have is the purple hyacinth bean, and I see Danielle at Northern Lawn Garden, Flower Farm Garden, grow this in her garden, and I really want to try it out. I see different people growing this, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I want to kind of put that in a couple of empty trellises that I have in the front of the house. So we'll see how that goes. Then I ordered some more Nigella. This one is called Persian Violet Nigella. And I love Nigella. My problem with Nigella is last year was the first year that I grew it, and I did get a couple of flowers, but they were really short. I feel like I didn't sow them early enough, and maybe the problem was that they were newly planted plants, so maybe next year. I did see some seedlings, so I'm hoping that this year's seedlings are a little bigger. All right, so the next company that I ordered seeds from was Johnny Seeds. I really order Johnny Seeds every year. I like to order my cool season flowers. I love to order their snapdragons, and I like to really try out different seeds from them. So I placed a small order. I'm sure I'm going to order more, but the first one that I got was Saponaria Pink Beauty, and first time that I really am trying to grow Saponaria. I've seen it online. I think it's beautiful. I am not a cut flower gardener. I'm kind of just like a cottage flower, plant everything the way that I want to, not really like, I'm trying to get better with themes, and I have different gardens throughout my property, which is an acre, and I have gardens scattered everywhere, different themes like I said, but I am going to try to kind of make a section for cut flowers. I'm not trying to profit off cut flowers, but I think that some of the cut flowers that people grow are absolutely beautiful, and I kind of just want them in my garden because I like to cut flowers and make arrangements for like parties that I attend for family, and when I'm gifting friends birthday arrangements, I like to have some cut flowers at hand for that. So I'm looking forward to planting that Saponaria. The next flower that I actually started growing, and I have a video coming out. I don't know how successful I'm going to be because it's been a week and a half and I still don't see sprouts. So I'm kind of being a little patient and impatient at the same time. But I am growing Doubellini Blue F1 Pelleted Hybrid Lisianthus. So this is the first time growing Lisianthus, and I know I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but why not try with Lisianthus? I know that they are hard to germinate and a tough plant really to seed indoors, but I'm giving it a go, and it's never a fail in the garden. You just learn more. So I'm looking forward to growing this Lisianthus. This is a beautiful purple, of course. It says blue, but it's more like on the purple side. And this one is kind of like a, it's very beautiful. It looks like a rose. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's more of a smaller Lisianthus where it looks like a spray of roses. And so the next plant seeds that I ordered were Hybrid Snapdragons Madame Butterfly Pink F1. So again, I love Crane from Cranery Gardens, and I love some of the variety he grows, and so I definitely wanted to get my hands on Madame Butterfly. I did Madame Butterfly, I forget what color, last year, and I really enjoyed it. I put it in some pots, but this year I really want to put some in the ground, and I'm going to try that. The next seed that I am growing is some foxgloves, and this one is called Pink Gin. So as you can see, my garden is full of kind of like purples, pinks, yellows, and you'll see that theme going on in my garden when I start showing you all my garden in the next few months and how it develops. So my property is about an acre, and I have garden plots scattered throughout the property. I live on a wooded lot, so I have a lot of evergreen, humongous evergreen trees, arborvitaes, and pines. I kind of have like a pine grove in my backyard. So I have a lot of shade gardens, and my front yard is south facing, so I get the most sun in the front, so I have my cottage garden there. But I have little pockets of sunshine throughout the property that I have different kind of plants. I have like a desert section where I have like native cactuses and euphorbias and hydrangeas everywhere, but I just kind of throw seeds and plants wherever I feel, and I'm trying to get better at that. I've been gardening for about 5 years, and it's been a process because I originally lived in the city of Boston, and I didn't have a garden plot. I didn't have any acreage at all. I've always been a city dweller, and so when I came out to the suburbs, I really wanted to get my foot through the door and really go ham. So I made a lot of mistakes, and if you can hear my canary in the background, I'm sorry, get used to it. It's breeding season with the canaries, so they're a little chirpy chirpy, and the light is on, so you'll hear that. But anyways, I am learning as I go, and I'm learning how to be a little bit more structured. I do love a cottage style garden, but I also like some organization, and so I've been like fixing my mistakes the last couple of years, where I just kind of like in the beginning of my gardening threw a lot of seeds and plants everywhere and bought as much as I could, but then realized that spacing was off and it wasn't looking right. The colors weren't blending. So I'm really kind of fixing my mistakes as I go and organizing a bit better. And when I get a seed, I kind of make sure that I have a plan of where that seed is going and what I plan to do with that seed. So just a FYI. So let's move on to the third company. So the next company that I bought seeds from was Botanical Interest. Botanical Interest is common like Renee's Garden, where they have beautiful illustration on their packaging. And I absolutely adore that. I am a sucker for illustration and really getting to see what the plant is going to look like in the future, hopefully. But I bought a few things from Botanical Interest. And one thing that I bought was stock. I have never grown stock before, and so I really, again, want to focus on making a garden for some cut flowers that I can make arrangements for family and friends, and just I love to have a vase in the house throughout the summer and spring where I can cut some flowers and have them in a vase in here. So I think this would be a beautiful addition to that. Another seed that I got from Botanical Interest is some lupine. And this one is called Sundial Lupine. I actually have 2 packets of this seed. I ran out of my last one. I have like a couple of seeds left, but I really enjoy the beauty of lupine, and it is a tough one for me to grow. I have places in my garden where lupine grows great, and then I have places in my garden where it does not stay alive. So I actually added this into my orchard as well, scattered seeds everywhere, and hoping that some of those sprouts in the spring, as well as I'm going to start some in the winter sowing method. Stay tuned for that video, but I wanted to stock up on lupine because I see people who have lupine in their garden and it looks absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, and it's like a bunch of them. So I would kind of like that in my garden, especially because I love that cottagey garden look. All right, and then the last seed that I got from Botanical Interest is, of course, a poppy, and this one is Lauren's Grape. This is a pretty common poppy variety that they sell, and I absolutely love poppies. I want to get better at scattering poppies everywhere in my garden. The first years that I grew poppy, I would sow them, and then when they would come up, I would think that they were a weed, so I kind of got rid of a lot of poppies, and then I learned what the foliage looks like. So make sure you kind of Google and you look up what foliage seedlings look like so that you have an idea that when they start sprouting, you don't think that they're weeds. But poppies have kind of that bluish teal serrated leaf. It looks velvety foliage, and so you'll know right away that it is a poppy when you get familiar with what they look like. And I love poppies. I just want them everywhere, like I said, and I bought a few varieties of poppies for this year. I'm going to winter sow, and I'm going to also winter sow in the garden. I've been throwing it over the snow and just throwing it everywhere in the garden to see what pops up. I really like that surprise element where I just scatter seeds and I see what sticks and what doesn't, so that way I know, you know, what does good and where it does good. All right, we'll move on to the next company. All right, so the next company that I bought seeds from is Baker Creek, which is a very popular seed company. They have amazing varieties. I love what they source, and they have some just amazing varieties that I've never heard before. And I'll start out with the free gift that they sent me, which was a jigsaw pepper. I think that I want to grow this for the foliage. It kind of has that multicolored variegated foliage, so I plan to put this in a container. I do see that it's edible, so I don't know if I'm gonna eat them, but it says that it tastes like jalapenos, so we'll see. I kind of like that variegated foliage, so I plan to put that in certain containers, maybe sow them, so that I can have some fall containers done beautifully with that jigsaw. And the next variety of seeds that I got were forget-me-nots. And I ordered a couple of varieties of forget-me-nots. This one is called Bellamy Blue, and it's just so beautiful. It's kind of like this purplish blue. Blue is a hard color to have in the garden, and I like to add a lot of blue here and there scattered. I just think it looks absolutely breathtaking, like no other flower in the garden. So I definitely stocked up on some forget-me-nots, and I'll show you the other variety that I purchased. This one is called Bluebird Forget-me-not, and I got some seeds from the Dollar Tree last year that were forget-me-nots, and I scattered them all around the garden. And when they emerged and flowered, I didn't know for the longest what, again, not looking things up, what that flower was. And then it ended up being a forget-me-not, and they were just like all over my garden. So I'm hoping that I get more, and I'm hoping that I can have these varieties in there. The next variety I got from Baker Creek is Coleus. This one is called Folia Sunset. Absolutely breathtaking, kind of like that pink, purple, crimson colored coleus. And I grew coleus from seed last year, and I actually cut some down when the season ended, and I have them in water, waiting to pot them up for the summer. But I ended up getting kind of like a serrated coleus last year, and I really wanted kind of that full shape coleus shape, and I wanted to get the red varieties. So I'm actually looking very forward to putting these in my containers, and I like to do my mom's containers as well, and we like to match, so I will add some of these coleus in her containers. So yeah, as you can see, the canaries are chirping away. They're actually like starting to build their nest, so that's kind of exciting. So the next flower varieties that I bought were, of course, nasturtiums. This is Tip Top Apricot, and this is one that I ordered last year, and I absolutely loved it. This is Tip Top Alaska Salmon, and this has a variegated foliage, so I add these into my containers as well. I absolutely love nasturtium. They're one of those flowers that I sow in early spring, and they just do amazing and wonderful in my containers in shaded areas, and I put them above my chicken coops. I do a couple of things with them, and so I'm looking forward to add this into my garden again. This year I ran out of the seeds, and I am guilty of not really collecting my nasturtium seeds. I get impatient and I just kind of like rip them out or cut them and hope that they will like rebounty themselves, and I don't give them time to harden, so I always have to stock up in nasturtium seeds. The next nasturtium variety that I got is Purple Emperor. This is exciting variety that I would like to add into the containers with the coleus. Stunning, like purple, antique-y looking. They are semi-trailing, so they'll be like kind of that compact in the container. Alright, so the next varieties of seeds that I got were some rudbeckias, and this is a very popular one. This is Cherry Brandy, and I grow different kind of rudbeckia, usually the yellow ones, but I've never grown these like crimson, red, dusty tones, so I'm very excited for Cherry Brandy. I see that they look beautiful in other people's gardens, so I'm excited to add that into the garden. The next one is Sahara. Same ordeal. This one has that yellow and that dusty crimson that I would like to add into the garden. Then they sent over a free zinnia, and this one is called Persian Carpet, and this is a dwarf zinnia. So I'm really excited to add these into my containers and add them underneath the orchard trees. And thank you, Baker Creek, for sending that over. You always get some free seeds when you order a certain amount of seeds. We're getting close to the end with Baker Creek, but the next one is Coxcomb Indiana Giant. And I believe that this is a celosia. Yes, this is a celosia. And I've grown celosia before, not so great. I don't know what I do wrong, but they just never get huge. So I'm hoping that I can start this early and get them to this massive size that I see people have in their gardens, so I can use them for arrangements and have that kind of interest. So I'm excited to have that. The next variety are Cosmos, and I love Cosmos so much. They get huge in my gardens, and this is Double Dutch Rose. This is a double one. This is absolutely stunning. It's kind of like a parfait pink. I don't know if that's a color, but it's just like this sweet variety of pink, and I'm excited to have this in my garden. The next one that I'm really excited about is Ageratum, and I've never grown Ageratum before, and I just love the flower, how it looks. So I would like to add that into the garden and let it spread and self-seed itself. And this one is called Leda. So that's all I have for Baker Creek, which is a lot. I am excited. I really enjoy Baker Creek a lot. It's kind of in my top with Renee's garden. I like all the companies that I order from, but Baker Creek is definitely one that I go to in Renee's garden most of the time. Alright, so the last company that I ordered seeds from was MIgardener, and I like to order a lot of my vegetable seeds and some of my flower seeds from MIgardener. They are very affordable, and I have been watching MIgardener on YouTube for many years, so I like to support. And so the first variety of seeds that I got was a couple of flowers and a couple of poppies again, poppy, however you want to say it. But this one is called Black Swan Poppy. This is a popular poppy, and like I said, I love poppies. I like to spread them everywhere in hopes that they just self-sustain themselves and replenish themselves. And the next variety of poppies that I got was a Shirley mix, and this one has beautiful pink, red, crimson. I have a balcony garden that is right next door to where I'm at now, and I love to just scatter seeds nonstop there. The next variety is carnation. I have tried to grow carnation flowers in the past, and I have not been successful. And my brother's girlfriend gave my mom some carnations this summer that were absolutely gorgeous, and they lasted almost a month in the vase. And I would cut them up and put them back in the water, and they just lasted so long, and they were so beautiful. So I said, this year, 2025, honey, I need to grow carnation because they last so well in a arrangement. And so this one is called La France, and it is a delicate blush pink variety of carnation. So this is like one of my seeds that I am desperate for germination and success this year in 2025. If I can grow a carnation, what can I grow? And I'm sure some of you are like, girl, you can't grow a carnation? No, I can. Can't. All right. The next variety of seed that I got from MIgardener is Siam Queen Basil. And I just love basil in the garden, either for cooking, and also just to have the foliage, and the flowers are absolutely stunning, and they bring a lot of interest into the garden. So this one, I will be using it to cook my Thai food, and also this one, Siam Queen, has a beautiful big flower that it has, so I'll be excited to see that flourish in the garden. And I like to put that in between all of my tomatoes and things like that, so I'm excited for that. This variety of sunflower, which is the chocolate cherry, I have grown before and it was stunning, so I needed to repurchase and get this back in my garden. I never have luck with sunflowers at the end of the season. Usually I don't know what animal, I think it's the squirrels, demolish my sunflowers. Like, I'm telling you, like, at the end when the seeds are ripening, if I don't get there fast enough, which I never do, like, the whole head is on the ground, empty. So I don't know what kind of animal. Maybe it's a deer. I live on a wooded lot. Maybe it's a possum, something, but they just devour it. At first, I thought it was my neighbors. Like, y'all are really stealing my sunflower seed heads. Like, what's going on? Like, why is there just all missing? Like, it would be from dusk to dawn, no sunflowers in my whole garden. So I never get to really reap what I sow. So again, you know, I always buy more sunflower seeds. So this chocolate cherry definitely needs to go back on there. It's definitely an animal. I don't think it's my neighbor's. The next variety of seeds that I ordered, here comes my vegetables. I have a lot of vegetable seeds. Over the years, I have collected many. I have collected many seeds from my own vegetables, so there's not much of a need to really kind of go out there and purchase too much vegetable seeds when I need to go through the vegetable seeds that I have already. But I always like to try out new varieties, so these are some of the seeds that I ordered from MIgardener for vegetables. And the first one is Jack Be Little Pumpkin. This is so adorable. I love little pumpkins for the holidays, and I'm always thinking about all the seasons. So if I can grow some pumpkins that these trellis and are a small type of pumpkin, and you can trellis them over a fence or something, I'm going to try out these Jack Be Little pumpkins. So the next seeds are the poinsettia cucumber. And I have grown these. My family, I love to grow vegetables for my family and friends. So I love growing these dark cucumbers. And my family really enjoys them as well. So the next one is Aswad eggplant. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but this is a eggplant that is originally from Iraq, so I really wanted to try that out, and they look enormous and just beautiful, so I'm excited for this variety. Eggplants are a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'll have a lot of eggplants some years, and sometimes I'll have nothing, so good luck to that. The next varieties are my tomatoes that I'm adding for this year, some new varieties. So this one is Sweetie Tomato. I love the name, honestly, that's why I bought it. And I'm not really a fan of cherry tomatoes. They annoy me, honestly, because it's a lot of picking that I have to do. So I just, you always have to have a cherry tomato in the garden. So I just decided to get this cute variety because of the name. Honestly, guilty. The next one, I love my beef steak tomatoes, a big, juicy, huge tomato. And so this one is called Giant Belgium tomato. And I'm excited for this. I love, like I said, a beefy tomato. So I think that one will do. And the next one that I got was a watermelon beefsteak tomato. And this one is a pinkish and red flesh. And they remind you of a juicy watermelon. So I'm excited for that. I really also like tomatoes that have that purple flesh. Like Abraham Lincoln is like a go-to of mine. And this year, well, the previous year, I wasn't successful with Abraham Lincoln, but I gave some seeds to my aunt, and she grew them, and she had an explosion of those tomatoes, and she sent over some this summer, so I'm thankful for her. And so the next two varieties are a Cubano pepper. I am Dominican, and we cook with a lot of sweet peppers. And so this is a pepper that is traditional, that is in our sofrito when we cook. So I definitely had to order this and try to grow it in my garden. And then the last seed that I ordered is a red noodle pole bean. I wanted some interest on my trellises with the vegetables, and so I decided to opt and get a red noodle pole bean that can trellis. It has a striking red bean, this burgundy color, again, purple. Purple is a theme. Purple is everything in my garden. I love purple, but maybe I need to lay off the purple, but not really. But anyways, this is going to be cute because I can put this, they're tender, crisp, mildly sweet flavor, great for stir fries, and I love stir fries, so I'm excited about that. We have came to the end of my seed haul. I hope you all enjoy the seeds that I intend to grow this summer and spring 2025. Again, Happy New Year, and let me know what you are growing, or if you all have picked some varieties that I'm going to try to grow and your experience with them. And I hope that you have all a wonderful new year, blessed and highly favored, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this video.